For this assignment, we will be drafting our names using AutoCAD Web. So in order to get started, click on New Drawing, give it a name. I am going to be typing mine, and hit on Create. You're going to have your blank template. I always like to zoom out whenever I get started, so it takes me to the 0, 0 coordinate. So this is where I want to start. What I'm going to be doing, so before I start drafting each and one of the letters of my name, I like to have reference lines so that everything looks symmetric, well spaced, and clean. So I am going to get started by drawing squares, and then within those squares that I'm using as reference lines, I am also going to be drawing like other partitions in them, so that my letters are, so that I have all the points that I need for all of my figures. Maybe they're lines, maybe it's a circle, maybe it's an arc that you're using. So make sure that you plan this beforehand. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing my first square using the rectangle figure, and I want to get started at point 0, 0. Feel free to start wherever you feel more comfortable with, but I always like to start at point 0, 0. You hit enter, and I'm going to be making my squares 100 by 100. So now remember that each and one of the little ones, like these right here, are 10 by 10. Then these right here are 50 by 50, and I want to do 100 by 100. So I type in 100 for one side. Don't hit enter just yet. Hit tab so that it locks that one, and now I can change the height to 100. Okay, so now I have my square. So what I want to do with this square is that I want to partition it further. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So what I want to do is, since I have some arcs that I want to draw and I need to have 3 points for them, so make sure that you plan this beforehand. I want to partition this into half and half. So I'm going to have 4 squares. And then each and one of the 4 squares, I also want to partition them in half and half so that I have 4 squares inside the 4 squares. I don't know if that makes sense. So in order to do this, I'm going to be using a line. Gonna start right here in this corner. I want to do 25. Then I want to go down to make sure that it's a straight line and that it's also 100. So you click on it. Then I'm gonna go to the side. I want it to be another 25. So now I'm right in the middle. I go up. Then I go to the side, another 25, and I go down. Okay, so aside from this, well, I'm done right now. For the vertical lines, I hit escape. And now I don't have to do continuous lines. I'm just going to pick another line, and I'm going to draw my horizontal ones. So I start in this same corner. I go down by 25 units. Then I go to the side. Then I go down again 25 units, and I am at 50, which is right in the middle. I go down again 25 units and to the side. And hit escape if you don't want to draw any more lines. Okay, so this square right here is just for one letter. Now you don't need to do this like for each and one of the letters manually. For example, I need S-O-F-I-A, and then I'm going to be doing M for my last name. So this is going to be 6 letters. I don't need to do this 6 times. So instead, we're going to go to Modify, and you're going to be selecting Copy. You're going to drag your cursor until you cover the entire image, and it's going to be selected. Okay, so you hit enter, and it's going to ask you to pick a point. So I'm just going to pick this corner right here, and you're going to be copying it. Now, this, you know that the square is 100, so I want to displace it 100. But if I just do 100, it's going to be like right on top of this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a spacing of 10 units between each letter. So therefore, I want it to be 110 units away. Okay, so there you go. I have my second letter. For the third one, you're not going to do 110 again, because remember that the base point is your first shape. So the whatever selected in those like dotted lines. Okay, so now if I want to leave a 10 unit space, and also remember that this point is to the farther right, I want this to be 220 units away. Right? So now I need another letter, and my spacing is going to be 330. And then I need this other one to be 440. Now I have my first name, but I also want to do my last name, and I don't want to leave an entire letter as spacing. So let's say the next letter would be 550 if it was part of the same name, but I want to leave like a little more space, so I'm just gonna go with 600. So this is up to you how far you want it. I'm done. I already have all my reference lines for all my letters, so you just hit escape. And if anything is out of the frame, just make sure that you go back to zoom, and it will bring everything to the center. Okay, so now once you have all your squares and your reference lines, we are ready to get started with our letters. But first, because also once you're done, it will be very hard to delete all of these reference lines one by one. So AutoCAD has something that we call layers. So you can see right here in this menu that it has the option for layers. So go ahead and click on it. And right now we are at layer 0. That's where you drew all of these reference lines. We want to add another layer by hitting this plus sign that says create layer. And you're going to call it, well, by default, it's layer 1. It's fine. You can leave it like that. But we also want to kind of like be able to distinguish between the letters that we're drawing and the reference line. So I'm just going to go ahead and change the color. I'm going to be doing red. Okay, so now everything you draw in this layer, it's going to be red. So right now I'm going to activate this layer. So make sure that you click on it. Right, and that over here it appears layer 1, and you can go back to properties and you can see the color and so forth. You can also change the line type, the scale, the weight of the line, but I'm just gonna leave everything defaulted. The only thing I'm changing is the color of the layer. So I'm gonna get started with my S. I know that we learned how to draw lines and arcs. That's what I'm going to be using for my S, but what we didn't cover is the polyline. So this shape right here, you know how whenever you draw a line that you can draw like several lines continuously? So this is what it does, but it allows you to switch between lines and arcs. That's the only difference. So I'll show you how to use this one. So let's click on this one. And I'm going to be starting here, this corner. Going to go straight all the way to 3/3 of my square, all the way to 75. And now I want an arc. So you go down here and click where it says arc. Remember that we need 3 points for the arc. You have the first one. I'm going to select this one on my second one. And my third point will be down here. There you go. Now I want to keep on with my lines. So I click again where it says line, and I go all the way over here, 2 more squares, and I'm ready for my next arc. So again, you have point 1, go to point 2, and then point 3. And now I want to finish it up with a line. And I go all the way over here. Okay, once you're done, you just hit escape and you have letter S. Now if you want to see what this looks like without the reference lines, you can go to layers and notice that layer 0, but you have to be in like the layer that you want to see, like you have to have that one selected. So the other one, you can turn it off using this like little light bulb right here. So if you click on it, that layer disappears so you can see your letter. Okay, but I want to turn it on because I'm gonna keep on drawing. Again, make sure that you are in the right layer and go back to properties. For my O, I will be using a circle, easy peasy. I select the center, and then I make sure that I'm touching my square, and I click on it, and I'm done. Now for my F, I will be using lines. So I'll be going from here. I mean, it's your choice if you want to do like the whole thing or if you just want to start like on the third one. For me, I think it looks good if I start like if I do like 2 sides of the square. Then I'm done here. I'm just gonna draw my middle line. So I'm gonna go here, and again, this is just personal preference if you want to draw it to the middle, but in my case, I think I'm gonna go all the way to 75 units. Okay, there you go. I have my F. Now my I just don't want to do a straight line. I want to do like this little kind of horizontal lines on top of bottom, and I don't want to do the whole square. Again, it's personal preference. If you want to do like the horizontal line that takes up like the entire square, that's fine. Okay, so I have the top one, hit escape. Draw the bottom one. And then the middle one. Just like a vertical line at the center. Hit enter. My A. Okay, so for A, I'm going to start here at the bottom. I'm going to go right to the center here at the top. Make sure it's lined up correctly. Then I'm going down. Perfect. Then my middle. There you go. And then I'm gonna do the M for my last name, also using lines. Go here, straight up. Then I'm gonna go right to the middle. Then to the top over here. And then I'm finishing it up down here. And I'm done. So you may zoom out a little bit if you want. And again, I want to see what it looks like. So I go to layers, make sure the red layer or the one with the letters is selected. And you can go ahead and turn off layer 0. Okay, so that's what it looks like. If, for example, in my case, if I feel like there's a big gap between the I, you can always move things. So, for example, let me move these. So I'm going to be selecting these 3 letters. Okay, so it's also asking me to specify a base point, so I'm going to be choosing the eye, and I want to move it, say 25. Okay, looks better, but now it also has a separation on the A, so I also I click again on stretch. I select my A and my M because I want to preserve the separation between the A and the M. I hit enter. I choose my base point, and I'm also going to move it 25. Okay, so now I think it looks better. If you click on zoom, it will center it. Once you are satisfied with the way your name looks, I want you to add the measurements to it. You can do this in the same layer so that it appears in the screenshot that you will be submitting. So I will just be zooming out a little bit. And now you go to annotate, and we will be using the dimension option. So if you click on it, I just need 2 dimensions, the height and the width. So let's go ahead and pick one of the corners. So you go here and all the way to the other end of your name. So I'm picking this other corner down here, and then you just pull that a little bit down. And then we are going to be doing the same thing for the height. Clicking on the bottom corner and the upper corner. It doesn't matter if you choose to do the first letter or the last one. And you also like pull this a little bit to the side. Okay, so once you're done with both the length and the height, you're gonna click escape. And then you notice that the numbers for the measurements are a bit small, so we can't really read them. So in order to change this, go ahead and click on your first measurement down here. And actually what you can do, if you want it to look different, you can pick a different color. So let's go with green for this one. And where it says dimension style, notice that it's in decimals, but it's a 3-point font. So let's see what a 10 looks like. Okay, so I think it's good because also you don't want it to be as big as the letters in your name. So I am satisfied with this size. Then you hit escape, and let's do the same to this other dimension over here. You select it. I am going to be using the same color, green, and I am going to also use a 10-point font. Okay, so once you're done, you hit escape and make sure that your drawing is centered, because now you will be ready to take a screenshot of this, and this is what you will be submitting in the Dropbox. Now, once you're done, don't forget to hit save over here. It takes a little while. Okay, once it says saved, you can go back to AutoCAD Web. You're going to see that your drawing is there. This is the date when it was modified. And if you want, you have it here, so you can go back and edit it whenever you want. So I appreciate your time, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions or technical difficulties. Have a great day.